We will start with the 12th chapter, Introduction to Three-Dimensional Geometry. Right. See, till now we were knowing Cartesian coordinate system, that is, two mutually perpendicular lines were used to find the position of a point in a plane. Here the word plane means a lot, right? See, if I want to find the position of any point in a space, then this Cartesian coordinate system will not help us to find the position of a point in a space. So if we are interested in finding any position of any point in a space, then we have to think of three mutually perpendicular lines uh, as compared to two mutually perpendicular lines. So we will think of this. See, this is you have to see this in a 3D sense, right? That these three lines are mutually perpendicular to each other, and this divides this whole space into 8 octants as compared to the two mutually perpendicular lines. We are dividing the whole planes into 4 quadrants. These three mutually perpendicular lines will divide this whole space into 8 octants. Here I will consider this as x-axis, this as y-axis, and we took one extra line, that is z-axis. So this time we will discuss about one more coordinates, and that's why this is called three-dimensional geometry. Right. Now, how to plot a points in this three-dimensional geometry? We will try to understand that. See, we have to, will consider just the positive values of this coordinate axis. Means this is my positive x, positive y, and positive z. If it is going down, then it will be negative z. Here it is positive y, so if it is going over here, it will be negative y. Here it is coming in front, it will be positive x. If it is going back, then it is negative. So you can see that I am just considering the positive values right now, and you can think of this point as origin, where these three mutually perpendicular line intersect each other, right? This is your origin. Here this is your origin, right? Now, as I told you, you can consider this as a corner of your room, and this is one point. Don't consider this point as a point on YZ plane. Be careful. The coordinates of this point P is A, B, C. This point is somewhere on the space, and you will be able to visualize this after we draw the projections of these points. Let's draw a projection of this point on XY plane. As you can see that the projection of this point on XY plane, then the coordinate of Z will be 0. Here the first coordinate is of X, second is of Y, and third is of Z. As you can see that this point is on XY plane floor, the Z coordinate will be 0. If I drop the projections on just x-axis, then you can see that the coordinate of this point will be a 0, 0, and same way if I drop the projection of this point on y-axis, then this will be 0, B, 0. The same way, if I drop the projection of this point on YZ plane, then the coordinate of this point will be 0, B, C. As you can see that this point is on YZ plane, the coordinate of X will be 0. If I drop the projection of this point on y-axis, then I will get this, and if I drop the projection on z-axis, then I will get this point as 0, 0, C. Now if I drop the projection on xz plane, now you can see that this point is literally in the space. Then the point on xz plane will have its y coordinate is 0, so it will be like this. Now if I drop the projection of this point on z axis, then it will be 0, 0, C, and whereas if I drop the projection of this point on x axis, then it will be a, 0, 0. So you can see that this point P is one outermost corner of a cuboid, and you can see that this is uh, lying on a space. So this is how we find the position of a point in space, right? As I told you that in this three mutually perpendicular line and divides the whole space in 8 octants. So see, we can easily find out that the point is in which octant if we know the signs of the coordinate. The same way we used to do in Cartesian coordinate system. We used to locate the point in first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant by considering the signs of the coordinate points. If both of them were positive, then that point will lie in first quadrant. If x negative, y positive, then it will be in second quadrant. If both of them is negative, then it will be in the third quadrant. And again, if x is positive and y is negative, then it will be in the fourth quadrant. The same way, we can also derive the octants of a point by considering the signs of the coordinate points, right? So here I will plot one table to understand octants coordinates. Means I will take my coordinates over here and octants. First octant, second octant, third octant, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. Right. So if we know the signs of these three coordinates, then we can locate or we can understand the position of that point. Suppose the sign of x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate is positive, then definitely this point will lie in first octant. If the sign of x is negative, uh, y positive, z is also positive, then this point will lie in second octant. The same way, if this 2 is negative and if this is positive, then this point will lie in third octant. The Therefore, x negative, y negative, and z right. Now, if x positive, y negative, and again z positive, then it will lie in fourth quadrant. X positive, y positive, z negative. This will lie in fifth quadrant. Negative, positive, negative. Then it will be in sixth. If all of them are negative, then it will lie in seventh octet. And if x positive and with negative, and this will lie in 8 octet. See this this is generally denoted by OXYZ. This as OX dash YZ. OX dash Y dash Z. You can understand that whichever the coordinate is negative, I will write that as dash, and whichever it is positive, I will write it as simple. Here I can write this as O X Y dash Z. O X Y Z dash. O X dash Y Z dash. O X dash Y dash Z dash. And this is O X Y dash Z dash. Right. So this is how we will decide the position of a point in 8 octants just by looking at the signs of the coordinate points. See here, x is written first and then O is written. So this will be like this. That is, this is x O y z. This is x dash O y z. This is x dash O y dash z. X O x O. This is x dash O. This is also x dash O. And this is x O. This is how we name our 8 octants. Considering the signs of the coordinate points. Right. See, now we will use this table and this figure to answer our questions in exercise. So I'm just running this one and we'll keep this. Exercise 12.1. Question 1. A point is on x-axis. What are its y coordinate and z coordinate? So you can see that this point is on x-axis. You can see that the y coordinate and the z coordinate is 0. Definitely. The answer is y and z coordinate of a point on x-axis will be 0. Right. Let's try to understand the second question where they have asked a point is in xz plane. What you can say about its y coordinate? So you consider this point. This is that point which is on x z plane. This is your z axis, this is your x axis, so this is that point on uh, xz plane. So if you will see the coordinate of this xz plane point, then the y coordinate of this point is 0. So uh, any point on xz plane is x comma 0 comma z, या a comma 0 comma c. Therefore the coordinate y coordinate y coordinate of the point is 0. Right. Question 3. Name the octant in which the following point lies. Right. So we'll just consider the sign and we'll write the octant related to this. As you can see that uh, all the three coordinates have positive sign, therefore this lies in octant 1. Right? It is in first octant. The second point given is 4 minus 2, 3. X positive, y negative, and z again positive. So the given condition is satisfied in fourth octant. You can see that x, o, y dash z. So definitely this octant lies in fourth octant. Third coordinate point 4 minus 2 minus 5. X positive, y negative, z also negative. So you can see that this condition is given in octant 8. So this is in 8 octant. Right. Question 4 or 4.4 to minus 5. X positive, y positive, and z negative. Yes, this is it. Octant fifth octant. Right. Fifth question. Minus 4 to minus 5. Here x coordinate is negative and z is negative, y is positive. So minus plus minus, where it is? Yes, this is in sixth octant. Right. The next point is minus 4 to 5. X negative, y positive, z positive. It is in octant. Second. We'll refer this below table and then we'll find the octant of the points. 7 coordinate is minus 3 minus 1 6. X negative, y negative, and z positive. Right. This is your octant third. Right. And last point is 2 minus 4 minus 7. So X positive, Y negative, Z negative. This is in 8 octants. Let's try to complete the fourth question also, as we have to just answer the blanks. The x-axis and y-axis taken together determine a plane called xy plane, right? Uh, the plane obtained using x-axis and y-axis is called xy plane, right? The coordinates of the point in a xy plane. If a point is in xy plane, definitely it will have x coordinate, y coordinate, and the z coordinate of that point will be 0. So it will be of the form x, y, 0. And the coordinate planes divides the space into dash octant. It divides it into 8 octants. You can see that here I have written the condition for 8 octants. So this coordinate axis divides this whole space into 8 octants.